Well, I am Simon Mullins, and I have the luxury and pleasure of running an organization called ESIX, or the Executive Search Information Exchange, which is a group of 60 plus large organizations, mostly large corporations, but we have a couple of charitable institutions too. And we are a group of corporate executive recruiting function leaders that gets together regularly, that works on building community, that works on building great tools, and with the intent of getting more value and greater value and strategic input from our executive search spend. That's what we do. And the group's been going around 20 years, which is fantastic. It was set up by a chap called David Lord. I've taken over from David, and we have a lot of fun. My experience has been last 7 or 8 years, last 10 years with a company called Microsoft. Many of you have heard of it. And in that time, I was running their executive recruiting function. But before that, I was at Korn Ferry for 7 years. And so I've seen both sides of the table, as it were, from the point of view of corporate executive recruiting. And I think what's going to happen is that we don't even know how things are going to change from the point of view of the industry. Of course, new technologies are coming in. We're going to, and I'm not talking things like just LinkedIn or research. I'm talking about the way we study our leaders, the way we study our retention of our leaders, and the way we go out and find new talent. I think this is all going to be changing. Obviously, there's a demographic change happening, which will probably drive some of that. But in general, we also still have this classic war for talent going on, which doesn't seem to really go away. So with all that happening, I see the pie getting bigger. And unfortunately, many people see that the corporate executive search function is some sort of a combatant to the external executive search firm. I don't think that's the truth. And in fact, most of our organization members are actually working in a hybrid model. So some of the work is done using their in-house teams, and some of the work is done using search firms. That is probably the way it's going to go forward. Some sort of a hybrid where both groups are working together on behalf of the client company. And that's the intent, of course. The intent is to get the best leaders for our client companies, whether we're in-house or whether we're in a search firm. And so I think that the pie is going to get bigger. Both sides of the table are going to grow, but yet they'll have to work together in different ways, much more collaborative, seeing around corners, and looking for challenges before they happen, because of course we never know quite what's going to happen. So we're going to have to try and be a little bit of use more ESP, as it were. So the World Executive Search Congress, I've actually spoken at this a couple of times, both in Frankfurt and in Vegas, and I'm looking forward to speaking in London. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic location. Of course, I love London anyway, but the Tower of London is really, really cool. But at the same time, it's a great event. It's a great event from the point of view of understanding what's going to happen in the future, how we can work together as a community, and as a community of both search firms and also corporate leaders. And it's a great place to network and learn from others who are providing best practices, and really just figure out how we can move forward collectively. Looking forward to it.